Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Shadowsphere.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Shadowsphere. Tonight, I am joined by the Bismarck Butcher. He is Buddy Badcock, and like his name suggests, he has a bad cock. So how's it going, my guy?
Going pretty good, dude. You know, just got to do some yard work and doing adult shit, man. You know, fucking sucks.
I feel that. I've been on the med for about two and a half weeks now, getting over multiple infections in my ears, and it's been nuts. It's been painful.
Yeah.
Man, so obviously your last name, I would assume, is not Badcock. So where does that character name come from, man?
So, I used to be a Brazilian jiu-jitsu referee, and there's a group of us that were all referees. We all kind of like, grew up in the hardcore scene, you know, and like metal and stuff. And we could go out on the road, and you know, we made okay money, but not enough to like, you know, be on the road. And sometimes you'd have a gap in between, so we'd dine and ditch Cracker Barrel, and like we were driving through, I think it was Tennessee. There's a place called Badcock Furniture, and we were like, we got to have an outlaw name. And I was like, dude, it's the Badcock Boys, and so we just called ourselves the Badcock Boys. And so that just ended up being my wrestling last name, just kind of an homage to my younger days of being a dumbass and stealing biscuits and gravy at Cracker Barrel, dude.
I love that. That's a great origin for that name.
Yeah.
I was telling a friend of mine that I was interviewing you today, and her response was, ask him why it's not Great Cock. So now she has the answer.
Well, it's also, I mean, you can think about it like the Fonz, you know, he was bad, you know, like in a cool way. So it's like a cool cock. You throw a leather jacket on it.
That's fair. Are you always been a deathmatch wrestler? Or you're a traditional wrestler as well? Like, where does the story begin for the deathmatch stuff? Because I've seen some of the stuff you've done, and I mean, you recently, that I know of, I believe it was April in the desert against Anthrax.
Yeah.
So, I'm just curious with that.
So my background is, like I said, martial arts. So I did jiu-jitsu and MMA and stuff. And then I loved wrestling when I was a kid. And then I got out of it, you know, when I got older. You know, the typical, like, everybody makes fun of you because you like wrestling, you know. So then when I was training, a British guy came in, and Billy Robinson, who was a British catch wrestler, which is real professional wrestling. So he was hired by Bernd Gagne to beat up Andre the Giant at AWA. And he taught Sakuraba, who was at Pride Fighting Championship, to beat up the Gracies and so on and so forth. So like professional wrestling was a real martial art. And so I learned the real history of pro wrestling through him. And then I quit fighting for a while, and Billy had passed away, and like, you know, I got to spend not a whole lot of time with him, like 2 years off and on. I don't really consider myself a catch wrestler, but I fought and did all that stuff. But me and a buddy, years down the road, we just decided to be pro wrestlers, and we did tag team. I don't know if you remember, there was a tag match where put cocaine on the rope and grabbed the dude's head and made him snort it off. You remember that?
I think so. Yeah.
They called the guy Coke Hogan. That was me and a tag partner, and a guy named Avon Axel, who's part of TFC. In a tag match, and then my tag partner decided he didn't want to wrestle anymore, and I was kind of wanting to do death match already. I'd already kind of been wanting to do it for a while, so I just dipped my toes in that. My first match was Sleazy E at TAC Wrestling in Little Rock, Arkansas, at a place called Vino's, like a punk rock bar. So did it there. That's been 3 years ago.
And you are. I was trying to figure this out. Like, I've just been introduced to you by my friend Jamie Rose. Shout out to him. I'm going through stuff. You're still the dedicated no ring champion.
Yes, sir. Yep. Actually, I
So
have my first.
not
Go ahead. Sorry.
not are you only into deathmatch, you basically brawl like all the time, bar brawls, stuff like that. Like, because that's what no ring is, right? So, what's the difference in mentality you have when you're in a ring with a canvas versus when you're on like per se a bar floor?
I think like the death match in a ring, even though there's no rules, and of course you can get out of the ring, but there is spatial awareness. Whereas like in like a no ring environment, you can just go wherever. I can go over here and grab a bottle, or I can go, pick up the dude and cram him in some big dude's asshole or whatever. Just kind of like the spatial awareness is different, and also being able to like work off the fly a lot more. Where you might see things in the bar that you didn't see when you were walking around, and you might be just fighting, and you're like, "Oh, this would be cool to hit somebody."
Fair enough. I was talking to a friend of mine who is one of the management at Canadian Deathmatch. I was supposed to let you know he's a big fan of your no ring work, especially with your match with Borancho earlier this year.
Yeah,
I have no idea who that is. I'm not going to pretend I do. I'm still very much new to the art of deathmatch, in the sense of learning who everybody is. So excuse my ignorance,
you
but
good.
like, tell me a little bit more about that match and all that.
So me and Baracho have been wrestling each other. We've had a feud for 3 years. So he was in that cocaine match. So he was the guy that my buddy grabbed and made snort a line of cocaine off. And get all charged up and started beating my ass and his ass because cocaine was so good. And then stole the bag. And so ever since then, we just started feuding a lot. We actually wrestled um a bunch of times. So my favorite match that we've ever done was, I don't know, are you familiar with the band Paleface Swiss?
I don't think so. No, it
Okay,
don't sound familiar to me.
they're like a metalcore band from Switzerland. They're kind of a bigger band. Um, I've got to wrestle for them 2 times now, but the second time was at Dallas, and it was in front of almost 1,000 people, and it was no ring. So we started on the stage, and then we ended up in the crowd. We had like 1,000 people following us in this arena, but we fought each other so many times. So I won. He was the no ring, no rules champion for Natural State, and then I defeated him several months ago. Every time we have a match, it's always pretty brutal. We always beat the shit out of each other. I choke slammed him off a stage to a flaming TV. He caught on fire. It was pretty cool.
TV. That sounds rather interesting.
He smelled like a like roadkill being set on fire, dude. It was crazy. He's got like dreads. He's a punk dude. He doesn't smell good, so he's like burning off all the degenerate scum off of him, So
Fair enough. To this date, what is the biggest? I shouldn't say it like this, but it's for lack of better terms that I can use. Who is the biggest name you've wrestled in the industry so far?
I just wrestled Necro Butcher and Toby Klein in a tag team match. Me and Michael Kruger, tag partners. We lost. I mean, I've wrestled Necro twice now. I wrestled Schlack maybe about a month ago. He's my all-time favorite deathmatch wrestler. I think, man, I've had some really sick matches. And some people like it's kind of crazy. Me and Nathan Mowry have wrestled each other now 3 times or two times now. Hardcore Hillbilly. Man, it's just so hard. There's a lot, but I mean, like Necro Butcher's like the man, so it's hard to. And I was just
I
match back, after the Dark Side of the Ring, so it aired that Tuesday. I got the wrestling Friday.
I've talked. I'm sorry, I was starting over my words there. I have talked with him in short. I mean, he's not a very small conversation man by any means. At least from my conversations with him, he's very to the point with me.
Yeah,
But I've seen some of his work, and especially that Joe match. He kind of really, in my opinion, from like I said, I'm still learning. He really put deathmatch on the map as a mainstream-ish, because it's still not mainstream. It is, but it isn't.
yeah,
But he kind of put mainstream light on what deathmatch is, and he's kind of set the tone for the Nick Gages and all of them, and
sure.
yourself included. So when you go against Necro, is it like teacher meets student? Is it like peer against peer? Like, how do you approach that? Because obviously, he's one of the biggest names within the industry.
I mean, he is the biggest name. I mean, he is the guy, you know. So he's our Stone Cold Steve Austin. I feel like, you know, and he gets a lot of hate, but you know, he's a really nice guy. And online, you know, it's like he's not going to carry conversation with you online as much. Like when you sit down and talk to him, he almost commands the room. I mean, he's a very intelligent guy. The first time I wrestled him, he drank 300 beers before we wrestled. I'm not kidding. The dude drank
Jesus.
300 fucking beers. And I asked him, I said, well, what do you want to do? He said, we're just going to get out there and fight. And we fucking did, dude. I mean, like, I got hit, and he almost knocked me out. And I was like, he means, like, fucking fight. So we brawled, and I used some of the stuff that I know, the jiu-jitsu and the catch wrestling and shit, and, like, the motherfucker knows how to wrestle, dude. It's kind of crazy. He actually trained with Billy Robinson in Japan for a little bit, so he kind of knew some of the stuff I was doing, and he could counter it. And it was wild. It was actually a 3-way match between me and Necro and Satu Jin at Carnage Cup last year.
Okay. Obviously another big name in the industry, and I'm going to ask you: have you fought her at Mickey Knuckles?
Me and Mickey wrestled each other in Vegas in a scramble, no ring scramble for New Fear City for Casanova Valentine's promotion.
Right.
I overhead pressed her and threw her off the stage at this venue, and it was fucking awesome. It was a good time. Yeah, that's another one. She headbutted the shit out of me, my dick, dude. I've been kicked in the nuts, but dude, headbutted, like drop headbutt is a whole different ball game, literally.
I would imagine so. She is someone that I hope to have on eventually. Same with Necro. I think the stories they could tell me, it would just be mind blowing.
Oh yeah.
So, man, me and you have we were having this conversation now for the last day or so, and you've never wrestled up here in Canada?
No, man. Last year, towards the end of the year, I started making more headway. People started, you know, wanting me more in more places. And then this year, it's kind of climbed up. Like I've been to RPW 3 times now, BVW once for Tarp of Death, IWA Deep South. I mean, Loco Wrestling, New Fear City, SVN, X Brand, of course. And this has just been within this year, you know. So,
Who is? You don't have to name names, but I'm assuming in your career, there's probably someone that you probably don't want to wrestle ever again, or really dislike wrestling.
yeah, I mean, I think everybody's got that person. You know?
That's why I ask. I don't want names, but if you could tell me like a story to why.
Yeah. Trying to think. This would be a tag match, or no, it wasn't even a tag match. My buddy was in a match, and I was just with him, and this guy kind of just kicked my buddy in the face while he's on the ground, you know, pretty hard, and so we were going to get disqualified anyway. So I was like, well, I guess the match is over now. So we just stomped the shit out of this to get this guy pretty bad. I don't think he even wrestles anymore, but there's like some things like that'll happen, you know. But then I've also been on the other side of the coin where it's like I was in Texas and I stayed up all night partying with Mickey and Lane, Baracho, and some other people, man, and didn't go to sleep. And I was having like some stomach shit going on the next day. I was like trying not to shit my pants and fucking had to wrestle Killer Cash, and it was like the worst match I've ever done. And that dude will probably never wrestle me again, and I feel bad because I'm way better than I was in that match. I just could not, dude. I like almost shit my pants like 4 times. It's crazy. So.
Well, I guess that kind of answers my next question with the fact that have you ever sandbagged anyone? And I guess that'd be a point in sandbagging because you felt like shit. So
I still went out there, you know, but it's like I probably shouldn't have, honestly. But you know, you got to see what you're made of. And
so given your fighting background, would you consider deathmatch with the weapons harder than the martial arts?
Dude, pro wrestling is way harder than fighting is. Because I mean, it's really, to me, there's no difference, honestly, in fighting. It's like pro wrestling is a martial art. Like, it's catch as catch can. Wrestling is pro wrestling. And so I always kind of tell people, you have the guys who are like straight through and through wrestlers that are like, well, deathmatch sucks and that's not real wrestling. And I always explain to them, like, the Spartans knew how to wrestle before they picked up a weapon. Then they learned how to use a weapon. So that's like, we're an extension of that. So, you have to be able to, the weapons are cool and they're there, and you have to learn how to use them. You have to know how to swing a light tube correctly. You have to know how to, like, do chair shots, do all that. But then when you don't have that weapon, you rely more on the wrestling. You use it either way, because I use it to, like, figure out my distance between me and the other guy, like what's in the room. What can I use? Is it time for me to, like, just take the dude down and just go straight to the fucking knee bar or heel hook or something? Just whatever. There's different nuances to it. I just feel like it's an extension. Shit's hard. There's no if, ands, buts are about it. Like, I still have glass in my ass from a match with Little Sicko that I had. I mean, like, my index finger went almost down to the knuckle. Like, that's how deep the cut was. Actually, it had Nathan Mowry and Lindsey Snow held my ass together while Nathan glued my ass shut.
Jesus.
I got a video of it too.
So you had a whole second crack going, is what you're saying?
Oh, dude, the crowd was chanting "new asshole," and I had no clue what was going on. And then got back to take a shower, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh man, that is amazing. What is the favorite, whether it be a venue, maybe a back alley or something, but where's the most favorite place that you've fought in? I would say wrestle, but I'm going to say fought because that's kind of your style, is fighting.
Yeah, man. There's a couple, dude. That desert match was sick. That was fun. It smelled crazy, dude. It smelled like dead bodies. So, like, in that match, while it's going on, a game warden shows up in the middle of the match and is talking to the guys, and they're like, he's like, "What's going on?" And luckily, they were able to tell him, like, "Hey, we're doing this thing." The guy was cool about it. But he was like, "Yeah, this is where the cartel dumps off dead bodies, so you could smell death, like literally smell something dead." And I said something about it. I was like, "This smells like a dead body now." So, but that was fuck crazy, man. And then there's a really cool spot here in Arkansas. It's called the Heathen House. And this guy bought like 20 acres of land and he put a stage outside. And so we do a full blown deathmatch tournament with the death metal festival. It's like 3 days long.
Hell yeah.
It's super rad, dude. He's got like this like VIP treehouse. It's like 2 stories tall. I've been thrown out of it on the tables by Baracho. So, yeah, dude, it's super sick, man. I tell people all the time, like, you should make the hike down to Arkansas just for that tournament. It's fucking wild.
So I alluded before that my friend Jamie Rose put me on to you. He is in Arkansas and he is a manager within Diamond State.
Yeah, okay.
So he put me on to you. That story about the desert back in April, though, I've now heard hardcore's recant to that, your recant to that, and Cakeface Carly's recant to that. And it gets funnier every time I hear it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I could just imagine what this man is rolling up to, and it's just you guys just doing whatever. And like hardcore was telling me, he was picking up spleens like the size of people, and it's like these aren't animals that these people are talking about.
Oh yeah, dude. There was like an ice chest full of something down in there, like fucking like drywall buckets that had just like, dude, it just I don't even know how to describe that smell, man. It's so, I knew something was up. I was like, man, I don't really want to touch anything here. But duty called, man. And you got to wrestle a fucking 40-year-old goth guy from Hot Topic out in the desert. You just got to do it, man.
Right? I guess so. Fuck, man. I can't imagine. Like, so I'm going to ask you what you enjoy about it, but what is the maybe a situation that you got yourself into where you're just like, oh, fuck, this is it? Because I'm sure I've talked to other wrestlers about this, and maybe it's in a glass match where suddenly there's glass coming out and maybe there's a piece in their mouth they got to get out quickly because they obviously don't want it to go down your esophagus and shit like that. But like, what is a moment maybe you've had in your career where you're like, oh, fuck, this might be it?
Man, this has to do with the match, but it has more to do with like a health thing than anything else because I didn't know what the fuck
Right.
was going on. But I did a deathmatch tournament in Amarillo called the Route 66 deathmatch tournament, and I wrestled the day before, and I got up, and all of a sudden, dude, I got hit. I don't even know how to explain the pain. It was. I felt like I was dying. I felt like I was getting stabbed. And I was throwing up, and I thought I was like having heat exhaustion. And everybody threw me in the tub and put cold water on me, and it was like giving me pickle juice and shit. Like, then it finally like subsided. It was like the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. And then I wrestled Chuck Stein, and then got in the finals, and then it was me, Baracho, and Dmitry Alexandrov. And I went through like 7 panels of glass, but when we got to like the last panel of glass, I'm midair, about to go through it, and that pain hits me again. And so, like, instead of just eating the glass in a safe way, it was like I just kind of like tightened up real bad, like to grab my stomach, and dude, I just fucking was so gnarly. I had glass all over me, so we got it out, and then the pain went away. And then the next day, drove home, and then went straight to the hospital and found out I had a kidney stone. So just wrestled deathmatch tournament with a kidney. So I really thought I was dying, though. It was fucking.
So to the latter of that, what's the most enjoyable thing that you've done to somebody, or a spot that you've done that you're like, fuck yeah, that's gonna be viral?
Man, let's see. Me and Baracho, when I choked something off the stage through the TV while the TV was on fire with pool. I made a syringe bat, so it had like 100 syringes all over it. And
Jesus Christ.
me and Nathan Mowry did a bats out of hell match. So it was the first person to use 3 out of 5 bats. And so some of them were like, one was like a thumbtack bat. One was like, I don't know, Legos or some shit. Then I made 2 of them. Made one that was it's like a bug light, like like the bug lamps that pull the bugs in with the
Yeah.
thing. So it was like a bat with that on it, and you had to hook it up. And then the other thing was the syringe bat. And so I got hit with that syringe bat pretty fucking hard. I mean, like blood just shooting out of my head. Nathan won that one, but that went pretty viral. I've thrown hands with Necro at Carnage Cup. I mean, I fucking cracked him pretty fucking hard. He hit me hard, almost knocked me out, but I slipped one of his punches and just decked him. And people just seem to love that one too.
So I've obviously heard what most people have heard, that Necro doesn't have the greatest sight.
No.
He's just on instinct. What's it like fighting someone that's nearly blind, I guess?
I hadn't been in a fight in a long time, and I'd say that was a fight. So it got some ring rust off me, some dust, and it's like, okay, I'm good now. I was so fucking nervous, because you hear all the stories. But once you get to know him, and then like just the way he is, you know what you're getting in for. He's gonna crack you. He's gonna hit you hard, and you're gonna have to give it back. So it's no fun. I mean, I'll be honest, it fucking sucks. But it also is a great time. At the same time, I love to fight. So even though I'm older, I still kind of crave. Every once in a while, man, I still go to a jiu-jitsu gym and I'll go jump on the mats and see if I can still roll around with some of the younger guys, or go to a wrestling class. But yeah, it's different. And he just you're not going to debate whether or not he's being fake. He's not. He's fucking hitting it. And he's a great mind. He knows how to like maneuver you and put you in certain places so he can take advantage, or he fucks up and you can take advantage of him. He's just a great mind. The dude's. I spent a lot of time talking to him, picking his brain. He's a wealth of knowledge.
So would you consider him your your senpai in a sense when it
I mean,
comes to deathmatch?
I have a lot of those. Like I feel like Wayne, Bloody, Insane Lane was his previous. I feel like he's kind of that for me. But you know, a lot of these older vets, man, a lot of them have taken to me and they'll like tell me things, and I just listen, man, because they've been doing it way longer and they fucking understand it. And there's a lot of people that are new into the deathmatch game, and I'm definitely pretty new, but I'm older, so like I'm at a different stage with my mind where I can like listen to people and go, okay, that makes sense, or you can know when somebody's full of shit and when they're like they have your best interest in mind. I would just say Necro has my best interest in mind. Lane, Nikki, they all know what the fuck they're doing.
Right. And like obviously I got a couple buddies up here, or I consider them buddies. One of them being like Wade Allen.
Yeah,
I made a joke the other day, because he doesn't have an opponent at the moment for the upcoming match at Stinky D's New Noise Volume 5. And I said, fuck it, throw me in. And one of the other guys that I know, he made a comment, and then I messaged him and I was like, I'm not being serious. Like, I have the utmost respect for everything you guys do. I'm not about to put myself or any company in a position of putting me anywhere near that. We all know the story of mass transit and fucking how that went. And I'm not trying to be that next thing. But like I do really respect everything you guys do across the board. I would love to do it, but I know that's not meant for me. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to go swing a fucking light tube. And I made the joke at Matt Cash not too long ago. He's like, if you're gonna learn to do it, at least learn to swing a light tube properly. And I was like, what? You don't swing it like a lightsaber? Like, he's like, no. But like, what you guys do, and I condone or I condemn, or is that no? That's not the word. I don't know. I'm struggling with my words today. But the fact that you guys do what you do and do it in a safe manner is a very underrated art. Because you guys are trusting each other with your lives, right? So, like, literally, there's shit that can go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, safety is like a real term. I mean, it's a bonding experience, man. I had like a pretty crazy acid trip not that long ago. I actually wrestled Hillbilly in a no rope barbed wire match. We were just kind of swinging and hitting each other in the face. He actually blacked my fucking eye, which is hilarious. And we tied up and we just went off the side and we got tangled up in the barbed wire and just kind of strapping. And then like he gets free first, and Lane is like lighting a blunt with a fucking fire, like a flamethrower gun. And then Hillbilly just grabs that shit and shoots it like right by me. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't even know that came into play at all. But right after that match, I may or may not have taken some substances, and so I really tripped hard about like the whole deathmatch thing and like, being a warrior and like the brotherhood and everything. It's like we do have to trust each other, and then there's also going to be times where there's just going to be somebody you don't trust, and they don't have your best interest in mind. They're going to try to hurt you. I've had that happen a couple times. I've seen it happen to other people, and you have to make a decision whether or not you're going to take that match or have a talk with that guy. Like, hey, man, we may not like each other, but at the end of the day, this is a fucking business. You set your shit aside, set my shit aside. Let's put on a good show.
Right.
So, but I won't back down from anybody. If irritable bowel syndrome is not going to keep me from having a shitty match with somebody, I mean, I'm just being afraid of somebody or somebody intimidating me or whatever. It's not. I mean, I'm just going for it. I don't give a fuck. That's it. It's going to be an experience. I'm going to be fine. I'm not worried about it. It's just like, something wrong could happen, but I don't know, man. I don't like missing out on opportunities. So
Now, whether it was, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, there's going to be a very rare occasion where I'm going to go, no, I can't do that. And it's going to usually have to do something with family shit, but more than likely I'm doing it unless the person absolutely just sucks and it's going to be unsafe. So.
No, that's my next question. What is the spot or situation that you look at it? Doesn't matter how much money they offer you or the person you're wrestling, you're just like, absolutely not. Like what? Yeah. Everybody has one, and you can tell me you don't, but everybody's got one.
Well, it's not really so much a person where it was like being offered to like get shot with a shotgun that had like fucking rock salt in the fucking pellet, which was crazy as fuck. Didn't do that. Even for extra money, it was like I was like, hell no, dude.
That doesn't sound any remotely close to a good idea.
No, man, you're gonna get fucked up. It's like, yeah, hot salt, dude. Fuck that.
That's an impact, and it's not gonna leave no little gash. It's gonna put a hole in somewhere.
Yeah.
Fuck. What is the craziest place your fighting has taken you? Whether it would be jiu-jitsu or even just the deathmatch stuff. Where is the craziest place you've gone with this?
Man, I think last year at POD doing the Tarp of Death, being in the same locker room as all those guys, and then like my experience as far as that match went wasn't the best, but as far as like being in Delaware and that many people watching deathmatch, dude, it was fucking nuts. And then the Tarp of Death shit was crazy because they just put weapons out on a big ass tarp. It's kind of it's raining a little bit. We're all bleeding, so there's just a big fucking puddle of blood. Everybody's fighting a puddle of blood. I had to kind of turn off some aspects of my brain. It's like that fight or flight shit. Where it's like performance art violence. It's just like some Braveheart shit. You got 800 people standing around you screaming, and that shit was wild. But watching all those matches, I mean, fucking the finals was Schlack and Dread, and that was such a crazy fucking match. It was awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's cool.
I have now talked to a handful of deathmatch wrestlers, and I've talked to guys that are still somewhat green, and some guys that are more on the veteran end of things, and guys and girls right in the middle. And I think you're all fucking nuts. I love it though. I fucking love it. But like, I don't know how you guys do it. And then I see guys taking gusset plates, and I'm like, I would never think to use that.
Yeah.
And you guys are fucking just, I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah, it's weird because like a lot of the guys are like super nice, man. Like they have normal jobs. Most of them are caregivers. Oddly enough, I actually was like a powerlifting coach for the Special Olympics and worked with people with special needs, and I worked with homeless kids and did all that stuff. But I had this like, I gotta have a balance, man. It's like you gotta have the normal stuff where you're helping people out and doing good things. But dude, I have to be a wild man. If I don't have that side, it doesn't feed the other. One feeds the other for me. So, I love being covered in blood and then drinking beers with the boys and having late nights and just talking about, dream matches or our favorite matches or psychology. I mean, it's so crazy, man. Being in some of the rooms I've been in lately. It's been nuts, man. You're in a locker room with Schlack, Masada, and Necro.
Yeah, not many people can say that. And
yeah, it's great. And I'm down here in Arkansas, and like, there's really a handful of guys doing deathmatch, like maybe 2 or 3 of us, and I'm the only one that's really traveling. My best friend, Brian Webb, he travels with me. He films a lot of the stuff, a lot of the videos that go viral. If I'm there and the videos go viral, it's my buddy Brian who's filming. He films everybody's matches, and he catches some of the craziest shit. But you got to love it, and just being able to like be with your best friend, and then us watching this shit, and then all of a sudden we're in the same room, and most people know our names. It's crazy.
Now, I know that I've asked you this, but now I'm going to ask it from a different angle. What is a show that you've been a part of that you've seen some shit go down and you're like, oh, fuck, that's not good for anybody?
Oh, man.
I don't want the show. I don't want the company. I just want the story.
I mean, it's infamous. I mean, it just blew up this year, but the situation of Burwood Eagles. I mean, I was there. It definitely got blown way out of proportion, but there's some nuances to it where people don't know the full story, and then some of it's really stupid, man. And like, there's I don't really condone that kind of behavior, and it was just more of like acting out of like safety for me, just because I've been in a lot of crazy situations and you just don't know what's going on. But after it all kind of unfolded, man, it was just so stupid, and everybody involved like feels dumb about it. But at the end of the day, it's we're going to protect each other, and we'll ask questions afterwards because
Yeah,
what we're doing is it's you just don't know what's going to happen.
especially in the no ring scene. It's tough, right? Like the owners and the venue staff can do everything right, and there's still going to be that idiot that just does something he shouldn't,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And that's not fair.
we all do dumb shit when we're drunk. That's the other thing. It's like that's why it's like I'm not even really mad at the guy. Like I don't, I would buy the guy a beer and we could sit and talk about it. But the guy probably really fucking hates everybody, and I can understand why. In the grand scheme of things, man, it's like I was doing what I thought was right. There's several of us like that, and then there's people who didn't do what was right, and that sucks too. And it made everybody look stupid. But at the end of the day, man, the boys are the boys, and we're gonna watch out for ourselves. We just don't. We can't take chances. I mean,
100%.
yeah,
It's still your life, right? You still got to
yeah.
protect you and yours. Um, I know that you guys all hate this question, but I gotta ask it because I feel like it's relevant at times. How many hot dogs and a handshake have you gotten, and you're just like, "Okay, never coming back to you"?
Oh man,
Obviously, you're not getting an actual fucking hot dog, but like that's the expression. And I'm,
I've
I'm
gotten
telling
some
that to
hot
people that
dogs.
don't understand that. But
I've gotten some hot
um,
dogs. I've gotten some Frito pies. I feel like that, but not as payment necessarily. I get the whole like, yeah. Here's my number. Text me next week. I'll get you squared away, and then you don't hear anything back from them. Uh, yeah, I mean, in the beginning, you kind of you show up, you set the ring up, and you do all the stuff you're supposed to do, and you paying your dues sometimes is like it's funny because I got a lot of heat about. I made a post on Facebook about your favorite up and coming deathmatch wrestlers paying to get on shows, and people threw out names and they're trying to guess who I was talking about or whatever. And it's just really just a post to kind of get some traction and get people talking. And in the beginning, you kind of got to eat some crow, dude, and just show up to shit.
right,
Sometimes the payment is like the experience, and also people who are in the scene that have pull and push see you and they get familiar with you, and then they help get you on things.
right.
That
They
does
put your
that.
name in the right ears.
But there is like kiss ass shit that goes on where it's like, well, if you just like, I'll pay you this, and I'll pay the guy that I want to wrestle. You just put me on the show. Yeah, I mean, it's like the promoter's making money. He doesn't have to worry about paying the other wrestler,
Right.
and he doesn't have to worry about paying this guy because he's going to pay for everything. So it's like, you know, sometimes the caliber starts to suck because of that. And I also don't think I'm like a fucking amazing wrestler, dude. I'll just fucking scrap.
I know a few of the people. Once I announced that I was interviewing you, had nothing but good things to say about you. They never had a bad thing to say, which I'm sure that's great for you to hear. Obviously, you don't want your name in negative light, but that's good. That's what I want is when I announce a guest, and people are like, "Oh man, they're excited to see it." Right? I've had a couple. Before I started this series of Shadowsphere, I ran another series called Spotlight with Shadow, and I would promote a couple episodes, and people are like, "Why?
Yeah,
Why?" And it's not necessarily like wrestlers I was talking to. I also interviewed like content creators and stuff like that. And I still do it in a sense now too. But they're like, "Why are we doing that?" That's one actually. I did an interview and I never actually released it because I did the interview and about 2 or 3 weeks later, his ass got caught doing shit he wasn't supposed to.
yeah,
And I'm like, I'm not putting my name out there. I'm not. Nope. We're just putting that away into the don't delete, don't distribute kind of. And it's hard to eat because like they were a genuine person to me, but in the public eye, I'm trying to make a name for myself. I can't be putting over somebody else like that, right?
yeah. But you know what, man? Like the other thing people forget is like we got a suspended belief here because it's pro wrestling, and some of the things that people believe happen don't really happen, and it causes good controversy. People need to like realize that, and separate it, and just let the ball roll. Where now, like clearly somebody's like doing some like essay or anything to do with kids. Like of course,
Yeah, no,
fuck that.
I'm never touching any of that.
But like, man, if it's just you don't agree with somebody's whatever beliefs or whatever, who gives a fuck, man? There's plenty of people I don't agree with, but if they're a good person, you know, that's it, man. It's like they might have some dumb shit they believe. I really don't care. It's like,
unfortunately, like to what you said though, there was receipts that came with that, and that's
yeah,
why I pulled the interview, right? Because I'm like, I can't.
somebody's got to
In
do
my
that.
conscience, I can't because there's way too many receipts to that.
Yeah,
But on that subject, is there, and this is just a broad statement across the board of pro wrestling in general, is there, because obviously we've all seen all these episodes of Dark Side of the Ring and we've seen like the way things take. Is there someone like that you look at and go, how do they get this explanation or a conspiracy theory that you believe in that's when it comes to a pro wrestler? Like Jimmy Snuka, for example.
yeah. Man, I don't know, dude. There's like so much bullshit in wrestling. There is a lot of scumbags. There's a lot of awesome people. There's a lot of crazy stories. It's like the desert thing, man. It's like you heard 3 different versions of that story.
Same version, just 3 different ways, right? Like
Yeah,
everybody's point of view on it.
and then it's just it's it's a genre of entertainment that has got nuance to it, where it's you're bigger than life, and uh, some people create their own bullshit and they believe in their own bullshit, and
Hulk
then other
Hogan.
people believe it, and then you don't know what's real and what's fake, and that's like those are the things that draw us to the shit, But we want to know if somebody's really like having a match to go save these 2 kids at Shikara, or was he there to get some ass, and he just happened to land the day that match was at. It's like that's 2 sides of the coin, both hilarious.
But yeah, speaking, because you just referenced Necro and Joe there, they told a story. They both knew what they were doing.
Yeah,
Nobody else did, including, like, as it was said, even the referee. But the 2 men that were fighting knew what was going on.
yeah,
And
dude. I mean, and,
that
and
became one
sometimes,
of the most infamous death matches in history.
dude, and sometimes like things unfold that you don't plan out, and it makes it better. And I say this all the time. I feel like in deathmatch there are some things where people aren't telling good stories. They're just getting in there and whacking each other with shit, and it's like, you know, that makes the culture as a whole look bad, because that's the first thing people go to is the shitty death match that a bunch of yard guys are doing or whatever. But
Yeah.
whenever a really good story is being told and the violence escalates, over time, it's just it's unmatched. It's some of the best entertainment ever. And then it's like one real crazy thing will happen. You're like, well, how the fuck are they going to finish this match? It just did this most insane thing, and then it just gets crazier and crazier and crazier, and they're hanging in there. They're standing 10 toes down and just fucking. I love that shit.
So obviously, like, I know what deathmatch is. I've watched it. Like I said, I'm still learning a lot about the history and who is who. But like I've always seen clips and it's always intrigued me. And this past April, I was able to go to Canadian Deathmatch's Crazy 8 tournament. And it was my first in-person ever live action. The very first match I was ever introduced to in person, Brandon St. James versus Tyler Arrow. And that, I don't know if you've ever seen that match or you
Oh,
watched it, but like that introduction to deathmatch for me, they were doing the ending of the match was a whole ladder spot, and I'm like going through glass. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then the event just kept going, and I'm like, I'm almost drooling at my seat, right? Like I'm like, this is amazing, and then it's just taking its life of its own. And I called it at the end of the event. I was talking to my wife about it, and I said, it's a human demolition derby. I fucking love it.
yeah.
She's all for the blood and guts. Like her favorite match of all time is John Cena and like JBL, the I Quit match, where there's just blood pouring out of both of them.
Oh, yeah. It's a big match.
So to go to something like this, she was fucking loving it.
Yeah.
You know, like it's crazy, and it's a kudos to you guys, man. Are you a big fan of the gusset plates, or you don't like them?
Man, I don't really like taking anything, but it's I don't know, man. It's like when you want to be captured by violence, with the storyline and everything. The two people that are in the ring, are they willing to die for their beliefs? A great heel thinks he's a good guy, and that everybody else is wrong.
Right.
That's how you make money. If you got a good heel that really believes in that character, that he's just a fucking, king shit, and nobody can do whatever, but he just got a little bit of that bitch in him, that makes everybody hate him. And then you got somebody who's like just through and through a good person, and they both believe in their cause to the point they're willing to bleed out and die for it. And then there's just so much. There's so many levels to that match. It just keeps getting more and more visceral and crazy. Where it's like samurai death, where it's like who's gonna go out first? Are they both gonna die? Like they're both bleeding out,
Right.
And that should pull you in like that, But if it's just violence for violence sake, there's a time and place for that too. So I really like stories to be told. I think Nathan Mowry is one of the best at telling stories. Lane is a great one at telling stories. If you've never seen Lane versus Nathan Mowry, it's fucking incredible, man. It's incredible.
I'm gonna have to check that out. So, would you consider yourself a good storyteller, or just an all-out brawler that likes to beat people's ass?
And I want to tell stories in a more long form. I don't really get an opportunity to do more long form stuff, so usually a lot of it's kind of David and Goliath almost, where the weapons are the great equalizer for the other person because I'm a pretty big dude and I
Right.
know how to fight, So I try to tell a story like that, but then I mean, I guess I'm okay at it, but I think that there's people who are great at it. Nathan Mowry's promos are incredible. I like to have fun with mine, but I can be serious too. I did one against Nathan where we pranked a DoorDasher. I showed up to the store that she was going to pick stuff up for at that, and was asking her if she knew who Nathan Mowry was, and she got all freaked out. And we left and went back home real quick because she was going to pick up her shit. And then she knocked on the door, and I answered. I was like, "You sure you don't know who he is?" And she starts freaking the fuck out. She thought I was going to kill her. And then we get done with it, and I said, "Hey, this is a prank, and I'm doing this wrestling thing." She's freaking out, and I was like, "No, you're okay." I gave her a shirt and talk to her for a second, make sure to tip her good and everything. But in that promo, we cut scenes, and I had a body pillow that I stuck in a body bag, so it looks like a killer drag her underneath my house.
Oh man, see, that's the beauty of it too, and that's like I enjoy when a wrestler has creativity, especially a creative mind, and I'm big on that. I was a big Bray Wyatt fan. Still, he's one of my idols. And just the story he could do. And then I look at guys and like just what you explained, like just hearing that, man, that's huge. I love that there's so much creativeness. But then there's the opposite coin where some guys are just boring.
Yeah.
They're there, like you said, they just go beat up and move on. Like, but there has to be a story to captivate me. It's also why I've moved away from mainstream wrestling. Because, no, there's stories, sure. They're not captivating anymore. They're recycling shit and reframing shit, and it's like I've seen this story before, man.
Yeah, everything's watered down, and so like I told you, I kind of grew up in the hardcore metal scene, and a lot of good underground hip hop stuff and all that. But even now, that stuff gets watered down too because it's I don't know how to explain it, man. It's like everybody's got this chart at the end of class in the fourth grade, and you get a gold sticker for being good, and everybody's looking for that gold sticker.
Yeah, it's the PG era of life.
Yeah, and it's just dude, I feel like deathmatch, it does have that now, but I feel like it's got way more integrity as an art form than most other art forms, and I love this shit to death. Independent wrestling in general, I feel like has better wrestling.
It
I
does.
don't give a fuck
I'm
about
enjoying it.
two dudes scissor fucking each other in belly shirts on WWE. I want to see like I love technical wrestling. I like old British like World of Sport wrestling from like the 70s and 80s.
You
Some
like
of the best.
strong style, basically.
Yeah, I like the Japanese shit, but then I like comedy wrestling and I like fucking you know uh, a good brawl. I mean, I like it all, but it's got to be good.
Yeah.
It's like, and I just there's so much you could do with this genre. Today, like Gigi Jacobs is
No,
the
I'm not
queer
gonna say
Billy,
I do. I'll look it up though.
the queer Billy Gigi Jacobs. He is one hell of a wrestler. A very funny motherfucker, man. Good dude. But I haven't been able to defend my title just yet the way I want to. And so I'm going to West Virginia to Jesse Daniels promotion in Richmond, Murder Sport, under this bridge there. I think it's called Hill's Doors, the name of the show. And Gigi came down here, and my buddy who owns Natural State Rasslin, Sleazy E, they had a party at his uncle's house. And him and Gigi arm wrestled, and Sleazy was going to get some cool wrestling memorabilia if he won, but if he lost, Gigi was going to suck his uncle's dick. Sleazy lost, and so Gigi sucked his uncle's dick to the point where he's in the hospital. Like he almost lost it. And so I already had this match scheduled. So I was like, man, dude, in honor of your uncle, like you, I'm just gonna put the title up, dude. I'm gonna just wrestle Gigi. He's not gonna suck my dick off my body. So, I hope everything works out. I'm gonna wear a cup for that match. Kind of scared.
Yeah, maybe put a chastity belt on too, just for good measure.
Yeah. Oh, dude, if he had to wrestle to get the key to unlock my chastity belt,
That might not go in your favor.
no, dude. Yeah, yeah. No, I'm scared. He's got this thing called Peggy. It's like a tire thumper, dude. And he like fucks people in the butt with it. I'm good. I'm just gonna have to really, really be on my. I'm gonna stretch a lot. I got to be agile for this one.
Just make sure you don't stretch the wrong places.
Yeah, that's or he stretches them for me. I'm scared to death.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna wrap up here in the next few minutes, but man, what do you got coming up, and who's some dream opponents that you would love to go against here soon? And places I know you mentioned to me Canada,
Yeah.
but like, where's some places you want to go and wrestle, and who do you want to wrestle?
So yeah, Canada, of course. Like Canadian Deathmatch is sick. Would love to go there. Australia, of course. I think I'm going to get to go to Mexico. I'm waiting on some clarification for that in September.
Oh yeah,
man, I would just go anywhere. Really, I would love to do. I want to wrestle a one-on-one with Mickey, Casanova Valentine, Masada. I would love to wrestle Masada. There's so many people, man. Brad Cash would be another person I would love to wrestle, but he says he's retired. I doubt he is.
yeah, just like Neil Diamond Cutter, he's retiring and he's still going.
Yeah. I don't think he can. Yeah, Neil Diamond Cutter would be another one. I've gone to wrestle a lot of people that I never thought I would even be in the same room as. Who's kind of crazy. Trying to think. Feel Insane. Would love to wrestle Phil. Hardcore. He's got an ass that's been coming, dude. He's a vegan, and man, I'm Team B12, dude. I'm trying to eat some red meat, brother, and be strong. And yeah, it's you just can't do that, man. You want to be strong and live forever. You got to have some blood, brother.
I mean, Hardcore's got my off the top championship belt that he's willing to defend against anybody. So,
well,
who knows what comes up with that?
Yeah, we better.
The promotions and stars have to align, and I'm sure it'll happen sooner than later.
Oh yeah. He loves good music though. Terrible taste in diet.
I completely forgot he was vegan. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'll never forget. He's forever an enemy because of that. I hate animals. I'm just kidding. Let's see.
I mean, you're a big dude, and one guy I'd love to see you go against, and maybe that'll happen when you get up to Canada. But Wade Allen,
Yeah, dude, I would love that.
that looks like a big meaty men slapping meat match right there, and
Let's
I'm here
do
for
that.
it.
Dude, somebody makes that happen. I'm fucking game, man. That is. I do like Wade Allen. He's fucking sick.
He's such a nice dude. Love him.
Fuck you, Wade.
Mhm.
uh, man, I don't. There's a lot of people I want to wrestle, man. Off the top of my head, those are the ones. Man, oh, if I could, I would love to wrestle Brain Damage, but I mean, I don't think he's wrestling anymore. That would be a cool one. Deranged is another one that I would love to wrestle. Have you ever seen Deranged?
No, I've never even heard of these names, so
Dude,
I gotta look these up.
and I'll send you some stuff. It's old IWA, Mid South stuff. I feel like if you like brutality, dude, everybody just beats the shit out of each other. Deranged, like legit, just knocks people out. His
I've
match
heard a
against
lot about Mid South. I have a friend in Tennessee. He brings it up a lot, so I'm gonna have to check it out.
or Deep South. I'm sorry, Deep South. Or not Deep South, Mid South. IWA Deep South.
The name, either way, it sounded familiar, and I know that came from a group chat that I'm in. So
I'll send you a match, dude. It's the most insane fucking knockout, dude. It's Spider Boudreaux versus Deranged, and like, dude, Deranged hits this motherfucker so hard that he like folds, and he hits the ground and he just doesn't fucking stop it. He just keeps stomping the shit out of this guy. It's fucking crazy, man. He just came back this year and is just fucking ripping people apart. I wrestled Toby a couple weeks ago with Necro, but I want to do a singles match with Toby Klein. I think he's like one of the best of all time. He's fucking sick.
what is because you're mentioning names that are wild to me, but I'm trying to word this properly. What is a name that you've come across on a card that you've been on, or maybe just in the scene in general, where you see the person and you're like, why the fuck is that your name?
Yeah, dude, there's this guy here in Arkansas, man. And his gimmick is that he's just like a, real thuggish, tough guy. But his name is Dante Alfredo. Like, why the fuck are you doing like Italian shit? You know?
It sounds like he wants to be a mobster and it's just not there.
Well, it's like, dude, you should do death matches instead of skewers. You just do fucking like pasta, like hard ass pasta. And people said that would be fucking hilarious.
Whack. Oh, another match that I'd love to see. Maybe when you come up here or he goes down there. Jesse Amato.
Who?
Jesse Amato,
I
the
think I've heard.
Bloodstained Hurricane. Look him up. I know he runs a lot more up here. He's one of the more of a Canadian deathmatch guy. Like he's set the tone up here.
Yeah, you have to send me some of that, dude. I'll forget the names. So
I'll have to find some of his matches. He's someone that I've recently met, and I've been told he's an old school guy. So
yeah.
But for people wanting to come up and do deathmatch or just any of the arts that you are into, what are some advice you would give them?
Do the thing I didn't do, which is I think you should wrestle for regular matches for a couple years, and then just really put in the work. Go to places, just get a bunch of matches, and just train properly, man. That's a big thing that I've struggled with is trying to find reputable people. There's great wrestlers here. I always shout out the three guys that are really great here are William Blackwell. He's a great technical wrestler, and then K Toomer. He's on Reality Wrestling, which is Booker T's promotion.
Yeah.
And then Buck Skinner. He's been on GCW and Circle Six. I mean, a bunch of stuff. He's good, but it's like those dudes are don't have a school, or we don't have a place to train at, or whatever. And so it's like just go to shows and try to get there early enough to get with those guys and do that. But as far as like a legit school, man, there's just not very many here. It's hard to find. So I would say if you're single and you don't have anything else to do, man, just go to a place that's got a reputable school, get your reps in, wrestle for a couple years, and then do death and learn all about it. And listen to the people who know their shit. Don't listen to some fucking dumbass. Because there's plenty of those.
100%. Like me, man. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me trying to tell you how to wrestle, because that won't go well for anybody. This is the part where I'm about to wrap it up. So by all means, man, promote what you got coming up. Promote your socials. Tell people where they can find you, where they can buy your merch, and all that fun stuff.
So I am the merch guy. For me, I just if you want something, you'll just have to hit me up on my socials. Buddy Badcock, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'm working. I'm going to be wrestling Hell's Door for Murder Sport against Gigi Jacobs in a title defense for my No Ring, No Rules Natural State Rasslin Championship belt. Hopefully, my dick is attached to my body by the end of it, and I get to go back home with a belt. Then I have. I am doing in October. I'm doing Arizona Deathmatch Company, doing their gauntlet to get onto the actual tournament. I don't know if it's been announced. Fuck it. Horror Slam. I'm doing Horror Slam in a couple weeks in Detroit. I'm doing Natural State Wrestling. Back to school summer bash or something. That's the 22nd. And then the 29th of April, I'm going to actually be wrestling William Blackwell in a no-ring UWFI rules match, which if you're not familiar with UWFI, is a Japanese promotion where they do open hand strikes. There is no pinfall. It's kicks. It's like an MMA fight and shoot wrestling, like slams everything else. But it's on concrete. It's in a bar. It's gonna suck, dude.
Oh, fuck, that sounds brutal, but fun.
Yeah. And this motherfucker's like a really technical wrestler, and I don't really get to do matches like that much, and I don't think anybody's really seen me do that yet. So I'm really looking forward to that, just because I enjoy just the art of grappling. So that's one to look out for. And then I don't think it's been announced, but I'll announce after shit. Are you familiar with Cousin Condry?
No.
Oh, dude, man. He is so
like I said,
cool.
I'm very much new to a lot of this, and I'm learning, man. But I'm a sponge like you.
He wears this like Leatherface looking mask kind of thing. He's very funny.
Okay, I think I've seen them, but I don't know the name.
Like, he's always like eating ass, like this whole thing. He's fucking hilarious. But dude, he's a big guy, but he's just one of the best wrestlers, and he should be on everything. Like, he's just so fucking good, dude. It's incredible. But I'm wrestling him at TAC Wrestling at Vino's September 12th, I believe, in a death match. So yeah, it should be fun. He's that dude's incredible, man. Like his character work is awesome, but dude, he moves like a lightweight, and he probably weighs like 250 pounds. It's fucking crazy.
It's a crazy skill when a lot of big guys have that lightweight.
Yeah.
But all right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, first and foremost, thank you, buddy, for your time.
Hey, man,
I appreciate the fact you gave me some time. A busy schedule of yourself, and you're busy at home and stuff like that. But again, I'm eternally grateful that I get to sit down and talk with people like yourself and just learn your story and learn your matches, man.
Sure. Well, anytime, I'm game. So I appreciate your time, and I'm sorry again we got the times confused.
No, man, that's on me. I said that's on me. Hopefully you come up here and I can catch you. And I'm working my way down to the States. There's some promotions I want to check out and stuff like that. So
cool.
With that being said, make sure you're following him on socials. Make sure if you're in the areas of events he's on, make sure you go and supporting him, boo him, cheer him, fucking just don't suck his dick off because he won't like that.
It depends, what I'm saying.
Listen, he says his name is Badcock, but doesn't mean he's a bad cock. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Test it out. I might give you dude poisoning.
There you go. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Shadow. That is Buddy. Thank you for tuning into the Shadowsphere. Until next time.
Later, guys.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.